Did you know that taking a shower at a specific time of day can be deadly for the elderly? Find out the simple measurements that can save lives. It is a silent killer that most people never see coming. Last month, Carlos, a 75-year-old healthy man discovered in the worst possible way of bathing at the wrong time. In this video, I will reveal exactly when taking a shower becomes more dangerous for the elderly and the simple changes you should immediately make to protect yourself and protect your loved ones. Bathing early in the morning, specifically between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m., increases the risk of fatal accidents by 80% after 70 years. Your body works against you during these specific hours, with the regulation of blood pressure becoming more unstable. Medical researchers at Harvard Medical School have identified that blood pressure falls naturally at night and quickly rises in the early hours of the morning, a phenomenon called the morning increase. Dr. Richard Thompson, a leader in geriatric cardiovascular health, explains how these early hours create a dangerous combination for the elderly, making activities how to bathe even risky. Cases such as Doris Williams, a 72-year-old retired teacher, highlight how morning bath time can lead to serious accidents, such as falls and fractures. Changing the bath schedule to the late morning between 10.5 hours can make all the difference in the safety of the elderly. Regulation of body temperature during bath is crucial for the safety of the elderly. As we get older, our bodies lose the ability to quickly adapt to temperature changes, becoming more vulnerable to thermal shocks. This problem is even more severe in the early hours of the morning, when the central body temperature is naturally low. Dr. Amanda Chain, a geriatric thermophysiology expert, warns that sudden heat and exposure to a hot bath can create dangerous cardiovascular tension for many elderly. A striking example is the case of Albert Reynolds, an 83-year-old retired accountant who suffered an almost fatal cardiac event during his morning bath. Its cardiologist explained how the combination of time and water temperature created a potentially fatal and totally preventable situation. To avoid these risks, it is essential to reduce the water temperature to 35 to 38 degrees C and install non-slip devices in the shower. These simple measures are essential investments to protect the safety of the elderly during the bath. Blood pressure drugs that the elderly take can be a significant risk factor during the morning bath. Mayo Clinic doctors warn that these drugs reach the peak effect in the early hours of the morning, creating a double fall effect when combined with the bath. Dr. Michael Ramirez, Director of Geriatric Cardiology at Mayo Clinic, explained how the synchronization of the effects of these drugs with the natural blood pressure drop that occurs during bathing can reduce blood flow to the brain, increasing the risk of shower fainting. Cases such as Patricia Sullivan, a 76-year-old grandmother, highlight how to adjust the medication times in relation to bath can prevent serious falls. Be aware of your medications time and consult your doctor to adjust them properly regarding the moment of the morning bath. This simple change can make all the difference in the safety of the elderly during the daily routine of the bath. Hidden hazards in the bathroom during the early hours of the morning are amplified due to decreased perception capacity under poor light in people over 70 years. Studies from the National Institute on Aging indicate that reduced visual acuity at these times makes the bathroom trip extremely dangerous. Geriatric ophthalmologist Sarah Johnson explains how sensitivity to the diminished contrast of the elderly makes the bathroom one of the most dangerous rooms in the house due to slippery surfaces, even more risky before dawn. The case of Gregory Harrison, a 81-year-old retired postman, illustrates how this lack of visual perception resulted in a serious drop during his morning bath. To mitigate these risks, it is essential to install nightly sensor nights in the bathroom and on the way to it, as well as using non-slip rugs with bright and contrasting colors. These simple modifications can be crucial to avoid accidents and ensure the safety of the elderly during the morning routine. Morning dehydration is a significant risk factor during bath for the elderly. Upon waking up, many elderly people are already in a state of dehydration which considerably increases the likelihood of falls in the bathroom. Geriatric experts warn that night dehydration combined with the need to stand in the shower can result in orthostatic hypotension, a sudden and dangerous fall in blood pressure. Dr. William Parker, a leading researcher in geriatric hydration, highlights how this scenario gets worse in the morning when blood tends to accumulate at the lower ends due to dehydration and standing position. Leonard Sullivan, a 77-year-old man, discovered this the worst way when feeling dizzy during his morning baths. Only after adjusting your routine to hydrate before the bath did the dizziness disappear completely. Simple acts such as drinking a glass of water before shower and maintaining a bottle of water in the bathroom can prevent catastrophic falls. Establishing this new hydration ritual can be crucial to ensure the safety of the elderly during the morning bath routine. The response to emergencies in cases of fall during bathing in the early hours of the morning is crucial for the survival of the elderly. Emergency medicine reports indicate that response times to elderly falls during this period are significantly slower, as house members are usually sleeping and checks are less frequent. Dr. Emily Rodriguez, an emergency doctor, specializing in geriatric trauma, highlights the critical importance of the first hour after a serious drop in the individual's survival. Cases such as Beata Triss Harper, a 73-year-old widow who was found almost 4 hours after falling during her morning bath, stressed how the delay in help can have devastating consequences. Installing an emergency button on the waterproof the shower and setting periodic calls with family or neighbors are essential measures to ensure immediate help in case of fall. These actions can provide not only tranquility, but also make a difference between life and death in critical situations. The cognitive function of the elderly during the morning bath can be compromised due to the impact of circadian rhythm on the brain. Studies show that the speed of cognitive processing, decision-making, and response time are significantly affected in the early hours of the morning in adults over 65. This creates a dangerous scenario by combining tasks that require rapid surveillance and reactions, such as adjusting water temperature and dealing with slippery surfaces. Neurologist Dr. Jonathan Miller highlights how brain performance is reduced up to 30% in the early hours, compromising the ability of the elderly to perceive and react to risk situations during bath. Cases such as Franklin Wilson's, a 79-year-old man, who suffered serious burns during a morning bath for not realizing the change in water temperature, illustrate the critical importance of cognitive function in the accident prevention process. Establish a fixed time to bathe when brain function is fuller, between 10 a.m. and 14 a.m., and using devices as timers can be critical to ensuring the safety of the elderly in the bath routine. Elderly who bathe between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. may be exposed to an increased risk of fatal accidents due to the natural drop in blood pressure during this period. This variation in blood pressure can be aggravated during the morning bath, making the falls and cardiovascular events more likely. It is essential to understand that the early hours of the day create a significant physiological vulnerability for the elderly, where instability in regulating blood pressure is one of the main risk factors. Transforming bath time to the late morning, between 10 a.m. and noon, when body systems are more stable and alert, it can be a simple but crucial measure to protect the health and safety of the elderly during such a common daily activity. Changing morning habits can be a challenge for many elderly people. However, by understanding the risks involved in bathing during the early hours of the day, especially for those over 70, it is essential to prioritize safety and well-being. Consider the case of Maria Silva, an active 76-year-old who has always enjoyed starting the day with an invigorating bath early. After faced with information about the dangers associated with this habit, Maria decided to make a gradual change in her routine. Initially, it postponed your bath time by half an hour each week, allowing your body and mind to adjust to the new schedule. Over time, Maria noticed a significant improvement in her morning energy and a reduction in the feeling of dizziness during the bath. In addition, she shared her discoveries with close and family friends, encouraging them to reconsider her own toilet times. This small change in the daily routine made all the difference in the safety and quality of life, not only of Mary, but also from those around her. It is essential to remember that the safety of the elderly during the bath is not only to the time when it is performed, but also to the various factors that can influence their vulnerability at this time. Even if changing the bath time is an important measure, it is essential to consider other adaptations in the environment and in the daily routine to ensure the safety and well-being of the elderly. In addition, it is crucial to maintain open communication with family members and caregivers, sharing information about the necessary risks and preventive measures. By adopting a proactive and conscious approach to elderly care during bath, we can contribute significantly to the prevention of accidents and promoting a safer and more welcoming environment for this portion of the population. Don't wait until tomorrow. Take action right now to ensure the safety of the elderly you love. Like this video and share to make more people aware of this crucial theme. Comment below about how you can help your elderly family. Subscribe and enable notifications. To more security tips.